Hey guys, it's Caitlin. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're switching up the format and we're doing audio only. I'm excited to try this out with you guys. I tend to listen to YouTube videos while I'm working, so I figured you may too. Also, audio only will allow me to bring you more information more often. So let's just see how we like it. The topic for today is pricing. As a small business coach, the first call I have with new clients is always around pricing, and that's because the price of your products dictates your business operations. Many of my clients are entrepreneurs that are currently working 9 to 5 and are wanting to get their business to a point that it pays them and pays for itself. So, knowing how much income we have coming in through the business is usually priority number one. Just as a disclaimer, I can't tell you how much you should charge for your services and your products, but what we'll cover today are a few different pricing strategies, and you can decide which one is best for you. And of course, if you need help implementing it, you can use the link in the description box below to work with me. There are 5 pricing strategies that we see the most: cost plus pricing, value-based pricing, competitive pricing, penetration pricing, and premium pricing. The first pricing strategy is cost plus pricing. So this one is pretty straightforward. You first calculate the cost to produce your product or your service, and then you add a markup. It's pretty simple, but it doesn't really consider the perceived value of your product or your service, meaning how helpful this would actually be in someone's life. It doesn't take that into consideration. So with cost plus pricing, it's really great for communicating transparency and fairness, but it doesn't maximize your profit margins. So this is where we get into value-based pricing. With value-based pricing, this focuses on what customers are willing to pay. So this strategy requires deep understanding of your customers' needs and the unique value that your product or your service offers. So it shows that you're customer-centric and you understand the unique value that you offer, but you're also honoring yourself and your business by actually charging what you're worth. And in turn, your customer will actually respect you more for that. So if we pause right here and do a quick example, one that I would have to give you guys was actually when I had someone cut my backyard. So I needed my backyard cut. It was starting to look like a jungle, to be honest. And so I was able to flag down a guy down the street, and he was willing to charge me $20. But I was so thankful that my backyard was now presentable. And I live in Texas, so we have snakes and other creepy crawlies that love to find homes in tall grass. So instead of the $20, I actually paid him $50. With cost plus pricing, that $20 was probably because in the guy's mind, he was thinking that it's only going to take me 5 minutes to cut this, so I'm only going to charge her $20 because he's probably just charging a few dollars per minute. But with me, I was so thankful and I had so much value that I know my grass would be cut for at least 2 weeks and my yard would look really nice for at least 2 weeks. So I was willing to pay him over double what he charged. So I had a lot of respect for his services. Okay, let's continue. Next, we have competitive pricing. So this is setting your price based on what your competitors are charging. So this requires you to know what's going on in the market, how you're similar or how you're different from your competitors. But with this one, you have to be careful not to undervalue your offer. So competitive pricing signals that you're in the same league as your competitors, but it doesn't necessarily set you apart, and that can be a good thing or that could be a bad thing. So customers are likely to think of you as more of an alternative. So to set your brand apart, you would have to focus on your brand identity. So this is going to be what your brand actually looks like. So the colors, the fonts, the logo, and the actual marketing. So for this, I want you to think of seltzers, only because I recently worked with a seltzer brand. Seltzers, they ultimately all have like the same benefits. It's kind of like a light drink. There's only like 4% alcohol in it. But what makes them significantly different is maybe the taste, or maybe the can itself is a really cute look, or the can has a more masculine look. So ultimately people are making a decision not based on the fact that it's a seltzer and how much it really offers you. It's more about what do I want to be holding in my hand. So that would be competitive pricing. Next, we have penetration pricing. So this is going to be intentionally setting a low price to enter a competitive market and attract customers quickly. So if you give discounts, this would also be grouped in here. This one's a bit tricky because on the downside, you can quickly devalue your brand and it will be harder to raise your prices later. But on the upside, you can probably sell large amounts at once because you are getting that large influx of customers who are willing to pay that cheap price. So this one is good for a more accessible, more bang for your buck brand that is really just wanting to disrupt the market. Next, we have actually the opposite of penetration pricing, and that is premium pricing. So with this one, instead of a race to the bottom, you immediately go for the top. So this strategy puts your product at a high price point to create a perception of exclusivity and high quality. So this is perfect for luxury brands or products with a strong, unique selling point. So this really requires you intimately knowing your brand and its value that it offers customers. So with premium pricing, your brand is suggesting that it's luxury, it's high quality, and it's exclusive. So I want you to think of brands like Apple or Rolex. And just a quick tip regarding premium pricing, consistency is key. So if you're positioning yourself as a premium brand, your pricing, your packaging, customer service, and marketing have to all align with that premium image. So any disconnect can confuse your customers and weaken your brand, making your customers less likely to be willing to pay that premium price in the end. Just to give you a few examples of how brands are using these pricing strategies in real life, Apple is known for their premium pricing and they're able to demand it because they know their unique selling proposition. So Apple creates an image of innovation, quality, exclusivity, and their customers are willing to pay a premium because they perceive significant value in their products. Walmart, we know them for, what was their saying? Low prices every day. So they have a focus on low prices and penetration pricing. So Walmart positions itself intentionally as the go-to store for everyday low prices. This then attracts a broad customer base looking for value for money. And this worked very well for them. So penetration pricing doesn't have to be a get-rich-quick scheme. You can actually get pretty far with it as long as you're doing it in a way that makes sense for your business. Tesla uses value-based pricing. So while their cars are upmarket, customers perceive the high value due to the technology, the innovation, and the benefits to the earth that they believe they are receiving. And this sustained value is what they are willing to pay for. Then we have Starbucks, who is known for their premium priced coffee. So Starbucks has positioned itself as a high quality lifestyle brand. So customers are willing to pay for the experience of drinking a Starbucks luxurious coffee as much as they are willing to pay for the coffee itself, which Starbucks know you could easily get somewhere else. So here are some things to keep in mind when you're thinking of how to price your services or products and which strategy to use. First, I want you to understand your costs. Know your fixed and your variable costs. So your fixed costs are going to be costs that do not change from month to month, year to year. So these are going to be like subscriptions, and variable costs are things that might change depending on how much you use them. You literally cannot charge less than what it takes to run your business, which is why I always make this the first call with new clients. We have to understand what your costs are so that we can understand how much we need to be charging for your services or your products. We have to keep this business running, and it's not even running, we want it to be thriving. So we can't even do a break even. We have to be making a profit here. That is the goal, and that is what I want for my clients. That is what I want for you. Next, we have to know your market. You have to research your competitors and understand what customers are willing to pay for similar products. I also want you to define your value proposition. you should be able to clearly articulate what makes your product unique and why it's worth the price that you're asking, especially if you are going to take the premium route. I also want you to consider odd even pricing. So this is more of a psychological technique, but it actually works. So using $9.99 instead of $10 can actually sway customers to purchase. So whole numbers can be a little daunting. So if you charge, for example, $98 instead of $100 or $59 instead of $60, it actually does make a difference in the mind of the customer in the sense that they perceive it as being more affordable. That is what I have for you guys. If you know an entrepreneur that would find this video helpful, please share it with them. If you're an entrepreneur running a small business that has yet to pay you, I hope you found this video helpful. If you need assistance in figuring out how much to charge for your products or your services, please reach out to me using the link in the description box below. I have helped dozens of businesses and I would love to help you. For more advice on growing your small business, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.